Oh my God.
What's going on, everybody? Here we got another first look video. Today we're taking a look at the team associated Nomad DB8 four-wheel drive brushless buggy. Now this is a new buggy in Team Associated's lineup. It just came out relatively recently, so I wanted to get it here, let you guys know what I think about it before you guys go out and spend your hard-earned money on it. So here it is. You can get this for a little over $500 pretty much anywhere. You can use some coupons and all that stuff to reduce the price a little bit, but let's put this aside for a second and go over the boring stuff. Now you do get this XP 120 2.4 gigahertz transmitter. I actually really like the feel of this in the hand. It's nice and lightweight, only takes 4 AA's. I do like how it doesn't have the drop down wheel, because you guys that have watched my channel enough to know I do hold my transmitter kind of funny, and I just like how open it is, how I can just, you know, hold it, no big deal at all. It doesn't have a rubber like grip or anything like that, but I really do like the feel of this. It feels nice. It's got this cool little wheel on it with the brake on the inside and everything. Just kind of looks cool. It does have a lot of features too that I really do like. So it has your reverse switches for steering and throttle. It has a low voltage light on here to let you know if your batteries are getting low. It has throttle trim and steering trim, and it also has steering dual rate. And this is one feature I really like. It also has throttle dual rate. So if you give this thing on 4S or 3S to somebody that's not very experienced, you can turn the throttle dual rate down and reduce the power that actually gets to this thing, and you can have somebody that's not very experienced, you know, running around on full throttle, and the truck will only be doing a quarter or half of what it would normally do. And then once you know, get on it yourself, or somebody with experience gets on it, turn that throttle dual rate up and you got your full power. I really like that. Not sure about the range on this thing, but it should be pretty good. I like how it doesn't have a collapsible antenna or anything to break off. So I am a fan of this transmitter as of right now. Depending on the range, we'll see later. Now in your goodie bag you get a bunch of paperwork telling you about the ESC and everything like that. I did thumb through the owner's manual. It is very detailed. Parts numbers, breakdown of everything from the shocks to the diffs, and everything is in there. So if you need assistance working on this thing, or you're not sure about anything, the owner's manual has it all for you. You also get a bind plug-in here, and you get a little bag of goodies with it looks like you get some suspension bushings, you get your T-wrench with your 17mm, you get a couple of Allen key wrenches in here with a small open-end wrench. I'm not sure what that's for, but I'm sure, you know, it's for this thing. Looks like you get some shock hardware in here, some pistons and whatnot. You also get preload clips for the shocks, and it looks like you get a spare servo horn. So they do set you up pretty good right out of the box. That's awesome. I like that. All right, now we're getting to the buggy here. Sorry if it's a little dirty. I heard some bad things about that. I'll just go over this right now. So I heard online that some people have been getting this. It's been damaged. There's been problems with it. Like the transmitter's been broken, and you know, there's been problems with the buggy and everything. So what I did was I pulled it out of the box, gave it a good once over, and I actually took it outside and drove it just up and down my street real quick. Not a speed test or anything, but just to make sure everything was working right. So it got a little bit of mud on it from my sprinklers had gone off, and there was a little bit of water out there. So it does have a little bit of mud on it, but it is brand new and basically undriven. So let's talk about the shell. The shell seems very, very, very solid. If it's anything like the Bushmaster buggy, this will take an enormous amount of damage and just smile at you. Also, like the style of this buggy, it's got a real, you know, it's really, really scaled to like something you would see at King of the Hammers, or maybe even like, you know, some kind of crazy military vehicle or something off like Fast and the Furious. I mean, it's really cool. As far as the color scheme, I really like the green. The army green is spot on. The red, white, I like. I really, really, really don't like this blue strip right here. I wish they would have just, like the blue on the back here after the red, white, and then blue. I'm all down for that. The colors of the flag, awesome. But this blue strip in the middle, I would have rather them made that black or just made it all green. But like I said, if this thing is anything like the Bushmaster cage, it will take an enormous amount of punishment. That's not to say that the body post can take an enormous amount of punishment, but I do think the body will take a good hard beating. And for those of you that don't know, Team Associated and Thunder Tiger are the same company. It's just a different name. They're both owned by the same people. It's the same company basically. So I'm not seeing much on here that is like the Bushmaster, apart from this this plate right here on top of your servo saver and steering assembly. And some of the steering assembly looks to be the same, but it's kind of the same all the way around. But let's talk about the tires first. Now the tires feel good. They're nice and soft, maybe a little too soft on the foam side of it, but the tires feel good. They have a good, nice pattern that should do well for the terrain that this thing's meant for, as far as like being on kind of rocky, gravelly surfaces. You know, basically just kind of out trail running, whoops and stuff like that. So as far as the tires, I think they'll do pretty good, but I think under a lot of speed, because of the softness of the foams and everything, I think they probably will balloon quite a bit. Another thing is the wheels are proprietary, so you have the smaller outer diameter to give you the bigger rubber on there to make it look more to scale, but the inside is slightly bigger to clear the hubs and all that stuff. So they are going to be, you know, tires aren't going to be easily found to just put on here, but your standard 8th scale buggy tires will work. Even if you want to get a set of 2.8s with 17 millimeter hex wheels, I think that will work as well. All right, now getting into the guts of this thing, you have the SC 1000-BL 2 and 3S capable ESC. I'm not sure what amperage this is. I couldn't find it on anything, not in here. I couldn't find it online, but I'm pretty sure this is just a rebranded Hobbywing Quick Run. Probably anywhere from 100 to 130 amps. I wouldn't think it's any higher than that. But it should do well on 4S, and it's got the Reedley, the Reedley powered 2000 kV motor. That should be plenty for this thing. I would guess that this motor, even if you wanted to put a 6S capable ESC in here, I think the motor would do just fine with that. This stuff is all waterproof along with the servo as well. You've got your 1514 MG servo. I'm guessing it's going to be a high torque, relatively speedy. You have your adjustable servo saver. As far as suspension goes, you have your aluminum bodied and capped shocks, front and rear, but they are not threaded bodied. You do have to use the preload clips that they give you with this thing. Like I said, in the goodie bag, it's the same in the rear. The suspension feels kind of spongy a little bit, but we'll run it stock like this to see, and we'll tune it from there. but it doesn't feel bad. It just feels kind of spongy. But we'll have to see how this does in real world. So going to the components, you've got your adjustable turnbuckles and camber links. So toe in and out and camber will be adjustable in the front. Typical H-arms in the rear with the camber links. So toe in and out is non-adjustable, but you can adjust your camber. The bumpers, the rear has a lot of give. The front is really, really rigid. Wow, that's surprisingly rigid. Holy shnikes. Another thing is it does have aluminum hubs in the front. They are plastic in the rear, but the steering block is plastic as well. It's got a 3mm aluminum flat pan chassis. I like those, easy to work on and everything. It does have your droop screws, so you can slam this thing down and get some better speeds out of it. It looks to have 3mm drive shafts all the way around, center drive shafts, and for the four-wheel drive. It does have CVDs in the front, and it's your typical dog bones in the rear. It does have a 3-diff setup. You got your front, center, rear diff. Whether they need to be tuned or not, I will let you guys know. The center diff does have a plastic spur gear on it, so just so you know. And when I did my little pre-test to make sure everything was working on this truck, I did put a nice big 5600 milliamp hour SMC brick pack in here, 4S pack, and it fit in this little battery tray. It's got 3 straps, are real nice. You know, this buggy just seems pretty solid, you know, not bad at all. It does have aluminum shock towers. They look to be about 2.5 millimeters thick, front and rear, and it does have these plastic pieces with your body mounts or body posts that connect to them. Also, adjustability on your suspension. You're gonna have double shear in the A-arms, front and rear, with 2 positions to mount, and single shear with 3 positions to mount on the actual shock towers. Now, all in all, I think this buggy is going to be a win for Team Associated. It looks solid. It looks like it will perform well at what it's designed to do. And the only thing that kind of concerns me is this really, really chintzy, thin plastic chassis brace in the rear, but they do have aluminum upgrades. The front is not so bad. It's thicker, shorter. It should do well. Now, yeah, so this buggy looks pretty solid. It looks like a good kit. I really do like the look of it, and I like how the cage and everything comes off instead of, you know, slipping back like that. It's hard to work on those and having to take the screws out and everything. I just like how this is set up better than the Bushmaster was. But we will see about this buggy. I have high hopes. It looks good on paper. It sounds good, and we'll have to see how it does on 3 and 4S. Alright guys, go ahead and give this video a good old thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Stay tuned to Killer Off-Road Hobbies. We got a ton more coming at you. Check out the description if you want to get in on any of the raffles that are ongoing or upcoming. The link is down there. Alright guys, this is Gary from Killer Off-Road Hobbies saying get out there, get an RC, go have some fun, and we'll see you next time. Peace.